The fact that we have a lot more avenues for exposure, versus having to go through just the record label route.
Yes.
I am very, very hopeful for the future.
I am Trey Henderson, family. Thank you so much for joining us once again on the NDC. So, yeah, it's been all I am ecstatic, deliciously proud to be joined by a personal friend of mine. She is the joint Nikki Kidd. Nikki, what's up?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Trey?
I'm well. It's so good to see you.
So good to see you too. It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
And you are well, new do.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
new lease on life.
Who dis?
I love it. What are you up to now? I know you just released some stuff, so talk about that. What are you up to?
Yeah, so right now I'm actually like kind of putting out singles because number one, it's more cost efficient that way. I'm working on an album. I'm working on a full project of 80s tunes in jazz form. Since I'm an 80s baby, I decided to kind of do almost a tribute album to some of my favorite 80s musicians, and also for those who have fallen, because we've lost so many. It was literally like, I think a couple years back to back, we lost several of our prominent 80s musicians.
Yeah, the icons are leaders,
man. We lost Whitney and Michael and Prince, David Bowie, and George Michael. So I'm working on putting together a beautiful album of tunes.
So we're gonna hear that. We're gonna hear some of that stuff.
Yeah,
just kind of reimagine.
Yes, in a jazz form.
Good stuff. Is it the artist's responsibility to reflect the times that we're in?
Absolutely. I mean, it's artists of all art forms' responsibility to do that.
Oh, that's good.
You know, whether it's visual artists, painters, actors, musicians, singers, it's all of our responsibility to kind of speak on what's happening. If anything, we're kind of therapists in a way in our art form.
That's interestingly worded. I've never heard it like that, but that's so befitting.
Yeah. You know, our music can heal. It can make people think. It can, I think that as artists, that is our responsibility to kind of either make music that promotes change or that touches people's souls, and also to uplift and have fun.
You have the educational part of it, being in a jazz program from a prestigious school and all those things. So there is that battle sometimes. Or do you have it inwardly with, I know the structure of what's supposed to be here, but I just feel like going with the moment or going with the music? A
little bit of both. I sometimes, I'll speak up on something, like even in the studio, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Can we fix it here? Musically, that doesn't make any sense. Or even lyrically, I'm like, I think I know what you're trying to say. Can we try to say it this way? So I definitely go with both, go with the flow, but also the education likes to creep in. And I try my best not to like flex my education muscle sometimes, because I don't want to make anybody feel like I'm trying to hoard that over them. But it's just like, it's a part of me. I went to school. So, and I'm not even the most learned of musicians. So the little bit that I have, I'm like, let me use it.
I paid for this.
I know.
I got it.
The bit that I've retained. Allow me to use this, please.
Right. I know you have the musicians, the female musicians group that you kind of help coordinate here with other gigging female musicians. My experience with you is that you're not afraid to pass on an opportunity to someone else.
There's enough work. There's enough work for everyone. And I think I've kind of always lived by that motto, but I also like to work with people. I think that's kind of my part of my DNA. I grew up singing in church and choirs, so I love the group setting. And but even in high school and like that group choir, like I would learn everybody's parts so that I could help everybody's part. So it's like I was a soprano, but I would learn the alto part, and like when the altos are struggling, I'm like, hey, I'll sing with the altos, and the tenors, I would sing sing with the tenors. With the Divas group on Facebook, how that even started was because I reached out to a fellow diva, and Marcia Mitchell, who's kind of like the queen of when it comes to top 40 and bands
and gigging
in South Florida.
Yeah.
And so one day someone was telling me about her. I'm like, I want to be her. So I reached out to her, and so she was like taken aback, and she's like, I wish more people would do this. I was like, I think more people would do this. And so we ended up starting the Divas of South Florida page. You know, we kind of made an atmosphere where we help each other out and like give advice, or if there's gigs, you know, say, and we could put out there, hey guys,
but people say women can't work together.
We can, and we have. I think that we've worked together better than the guys have.
That's probably true. Sad to say.
In times of like trouble where I'm like, oh man, I lost a gig. Hey guys, I'm available. Does anybody need a sub? And I end up getting a gig. And the same thing works vice versa. Like, I was double booked, or I got more opportunities, and like, hey guys, who's available to do this? And I, you know, and passing that along. And so that's definitely something I try to do as much as I can, opening doors for other people and allowing other opportunities. Because number one, like if I can't do something, I want to be able to pass it along to somebody I know that could. Like, absolutely. I don't want to say, well, if I can't do it, no one can. And I check myself, because I have those moments, you know, like, because I am naturally a competitive person. Like, I kind of use it to push me. Because I also have kind of like this all or nothing behavior, unfortunately. Where it's like, unfortunately, like it works for and against me. So I'm like, well, if I don't put everything in, I'm gonna like be completely lazy. So even with that and the music, like I try to make my best foot forward and give my all. But if I figure like, hey, I'm not like the biggest runner, like I'm not like ooh, like I'm like that's about it. That's all that happens. So I'm like, okay, if you want somebody who can do that, I know plenty of people who can, and so I make sure I hook them up.
How do you feel about the current state of the industry, where it's headed? As an independent artist, what do you feel about the industry right now? Are you optimistic? Are you disappointed in some areas? What is it?
I think as far as artistry goes, I'm optimistic. The fact that we have a lot more avenues for exposure, versus having to go through just the record label route. Now, because of technology, like you can literally record a video from your iPhone now, because they're so advanced in how just they're picking up sound, so you get a better quality of sound. So as far as artistry is concerned, like I think that I am very, very hopeful for the future of musicians and artists and where it's going. I mean, I'm on TikTok, even though I'm a millennial, so I'm a millennial TikToker. But I found artists and new music through that avenue, through TikTok, and you know, keeping up with the youngins now. So it make me feel old. But I've heard like some really, really up and coming like artists and singers, musicians putting out some really cool stuff. And so I'm hopeful for the next generation of artists, and in our generation, they'll keep, you know, moving it up. As far as monetarily, that is a different story. That is the difficulty, because of also the streams.
I tried to tell people to buy the music. 5,000 streams. Another artist just had on their recent music being released. And it's like, wow, if everybody just bought that. If 5,000 different people listen to it, that's $5,000 in their pocket versus $2.50 that they're gonna get from streaming.
Or even looking at, like, sometimes, you know, people look at like their Facebook friends and they're like, I got 5,000 Facebook friends. If those people bought my CD, like, I'd be okay. I'd actually pay off what I spent on making it. So everyone, you can find my music on Spotify, iTunes, Google Music, Apple Music under my name, Nikki Kidd. It's a self-titled album right now, and it's Nikkidd. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Nikki Kidd Vocals with an S at the end. On Facebook, it's Nikki Kidd Vox, VOX. And on Instagram, on Twitter, it's both. I have Nikki Kidd Vocals and Nikki Kidd Vox. And on TikTok, it's Nikki Kidd Vocals. So please follow me. Buy my music, please.
Buy the music.
Or add it to your playlists on Spotify, because that actually helps out a lot also, because we get, those numbers.
I'm your man, Trey Henderson. This is the Indie Seed. Special thanks to our producers, Context of a Generation. Peace and blessings. We love y'all. At the other Trevon, Instagram and Twitter. Find me, holla at me. I'll holla back. Peace.
So that was the Indie Seat. If you like what you saw and you want to be a partner, or if you want to collaborate with us, even if you're an artist and you want to submit your work, check out our website, contextofageneration.org, or go ahead and submit an email to us at submit@contextofageneration.org. And for all the artists, make sure you put your name, your social media handles, and attach some of your work as well. And for those who are interested in being a partner or collaborating, please email us and we would love to reach back out. Peace. That was the Indie Seat. Thank you.